Good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? This is Trace Smith.
I can hear you. This is Emil.
I can hear you.
All right. Melody Green has called in. I don't know if anybody at the staff can hear me, but she's dialing in from a 214 number on the attendees list. If you could please promote her to the panel. And nobody else has.
Trace, this is Bill. We can't promote her, but we're allowing her to talk.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just as good then.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, can't promote phone numbers. Sorry.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Well, as long as we can hear them and they can hear us, I think that's all we really need.
You've got mail.
All right. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Hang on just a second. This is trying to, sorry here. Hold on just 1 second here. All right, okay, there we go. My screen blacked out on me. I couldn't get it unlocked. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order. We'll start off with the American Pledge. Is there anyone that would like to start out with that?
I'm guessing Will's not here, huh?
I'm guessing not. Will, are you on a telephone line, sir?
He's muted, I know that.
Okay. I don't see his deal on here.
Will is promoted to a panelist. He's on mute.
Oh, okay, there you go, Will. You want to start off with the American Pledge and Texas Pledge, sir?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee. Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, sir. Next, we're going to go to roll call. Kim, are you on? I don't see her listed. I know Veronica had.
Kim's listed here, but she's muted.
Kim Rogers?
No, I think that's Kim Kipling.
Okay. Okay, I guess Kim Rogers is not going to be at the meeting today. Is there, okay, we'll just go ahead and do the roll there. I am present. Kim Rogers is not here yet. Will Martin.
Here.
Jason Pohl.
Here.
Tommy Duncan.
Here.
You'll have to bear with me. I'm going to have to be taking notes and conducting the meeting today. Melody Green.
Here.
All right. Emil,
I'm here.
Mr. Corey Harris, are you here, sir? He may be possibly called in. I'm not sure. I don't have his actual telephone number yet. But okay. Corey is not here. And Veronica is not going to be here. I haven't heard from Kim, but Veronica is celebrating a wedding today, so she is one of her children, so she will absolutely understood to be partaking in that instead of the meeting today. We do still have a quorum, so I think we can proceed with the meeting. The meeting minutes from March 25th, we're going to have to come back to that in the next meeting. Veronica had those, I believe, or Kim, one of the two. So we're going to have to come back to that. Unless there's anybody that has any questions or comments about the meeting from March 25th. Is there anyone? No. Okay. We'll come back to that for a vote on the next meeting then. Report on the Texas Lottery Commission meeting, April the 8th, 2021. That was very standard. There was just very little to report other than the stuff on the bills and where they were at that time. It was just a very brief report. There's not a whole lot to say about it. They didn't ask any questions, didn't have any issues. So that went well. Skipped on down to old business. Does anybody have any old business that they would like to bring up? Okay. I would like to talk about the temps on demand. Tyler, I'm assuming you're the one that's fixed that, or at least had somebody fix it. My understanding is that is up and working very efficiently. So I've been told. If that is the case, we definitely want to say thank you and congratulations for getting that done.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, y'all. They are up and running. You can find the forms on the website, and they're also available on BSP. I think we've received a few already trickling in. I sent you guys an email a couple of weeks ago when it went live, and encourage you to pass the word around or ask us any questions. And I just want to make sure that everyone's aware that when you submit the Form 17, you're issued the licenses and they're blank. They have no date or time. And before you can use them, you have to notify us by submitting the Form 18. And that has to be before the occasion. Now, the difference is in the past, you used to have to wait for us to then approve that. And now you don't. So now you need to submit it at any point before the occasion. You can email it, you can fax it, you can snail mail it as long as it's postmarked the day before. But it just needs to be sent to us before the occasion starts. If the Form 18 is sent in after the occasion, then that occasion is unlicensed. Because just because you're issued a license when you submit Form 17, that license can't be used until we receive Form 18, letting us know the specific date and time that it's used. So if you send in that Form 18 after the occasion, you're just telling us that you just conducted an unlicensed occasion. which is going to have to become an enforcement issue. And that's why I threw out the warning in my email to y'all. You know, this is it's a great privilege. It provides you guys with a lot of flexibility. You can conduct a session on the fly on a Friday or Saturday night if you're super busy. But it comes with more responsibilities and it comes with more risks than a traditional temporary license, which has the date and time specified way in advance. You know we have a record of it. You have a record of it. Everyone knows when the occasion is scheduled, and you know there's never going to be an issue of an unlicensed occasion or a missing record on an old-fashioned temporary. But when you use a temporary on demand, you have to be very careful and very diligent about making sure that you submit it and submit it correctly before the occasion, and then also maintaining records of it. You know, in case you get audited and the auditor sees some occasion that's outside of your normal hours, you know, they're gonna want proof that you did in fact submit that form before the occasion. So again, it gives you guys some flexibility, and I'm glad we got it up and running. I know you guys have wanted it for a long time, but just be careful with it. That's all I ask.
Great, man. We certainly appreciate that. We know that's been a long time in the works, and there's been some hiccups on it. We just appreciate the attention to detail from you and the staff. I know that was a big undertaking. We're definitely grateful. I know a lot of people are going to be able to utilize that and make some more money for the charities. So that's awesome. All right. Is there any other old business? Okay. The only other thing I can think that would fall under old business is, I know we talked about last time, when we would be able to have a actual meeting in person. I know a lot of people are technologically challenged like I am, and we miss the old style of getting to see everybody and say hello. Tyler, do y'all have any idea, or have y'all been given any indication of when you may be allowed to have public meetings again in person?
Well, the plan is for the June 10th commission meeting to be in person.
Okay.
And it's you know, I don't think it's going to be as robust as it normally is, as far as in-person attendance. But you know what, if I can defer to Bob, I think he knows more about the specific details on in-person public meetings
Okay.
going forward. Bob, are you available?
It shows Bob's on. It shows he's muted. I don't know if that's on his end or on the.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think
All right,
Trace.
I found it.
Oh,
I
there.
found it. Sorry.
There you
One
are.
of these screens up. I had to find the one that had my microphone on it.
There you
Okay.
go.
Hi, it's Bob.
Hear from you.
Yeah, starting with the next meeting, we're going back to in person, but we're going to have you know, health and safety protocols in place. So there's going to be social distancing. Commission staff, we're only going to have people who need to be at the meeting in order for the meeting to occur. So, you know, we're not going to have a room full of commission folks in there. And so I haven't seen what the seating is going to look like, but of course, anyone from the public who wants to come is going to be accommodated. But just want you to know that there's going to be some plexiglass, you know, shields like you've seen up at the Capitol. I haven't seen any of this stuff yet, but we are going back to in-person meetings going forward, and that'll be, you know, June, August, October. As far as I know, this is going to be our new practice going forward. But this first meeting, obviously, is going to be, we're kind of got to be feeling our way and seeing how many folks show up and all that. But we're certainly going to accommodate anyone from the public who shows up. But you also need to know there's not going to be an option to participate online. So you won't have a choice to stay at home to watch the meeting. If you want to come and attend the meeting, you're going to need to come in person.
Okay. I guess, Bob, since you're addressing that, and I don't think anybody else had any old business, I'll go ahead and skip to new business and go ahead and ask you a question. Since they're going to be in person for the commission, will they also be in person for the BAC meetings now?
You know, we have not talked about that. So I think that's a topic. I mean, the BAC, of course, it reports to the commissioners, and I don't know if Commissioner Fields is on the call or not, but I think that's something for since the BAC reports directly to the commissioners, it's not going to be as much of a something for like Tyler and me to weigh in on it. I think if y'all are ready to have in-person meetings, I think it'd probably be most appropriate to sort of work that out with Commissioner Fields as the bingo commissioner.
Hey, Bob,
I
I'm
do
here.
see that
So we can
Commissioner
do
Fields
that.
is on the meeting. Commissioner, thank you for attending. If you would like to jump in and weigh in, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to think about it a while and give us an opinion later, we're definitely okay with that too. But I will hand the floor to you.
Well, do you all have a preference as far as what you like to do?
I can only speak for myself on this because we haven't actually talked about that yet, which I'm going to assume we're fixing to, as the old East Texan saying goes, we're fixing to talk about it. I personally would definitely like to have the meetings in person. I think more detail and I think it's more in depth when it's a personal meeting. I think we get to hash out things better and people are more inclined to speak up on issues that they may have or that they may be concerned about. I can't speak for everyone yet, like I say, because we haven't chatted about it, but I think if the commission meeting is going to be in person, I think it would be, okay for us to do it as well. If
Yeah, I do
anybody's got
too.
any thoughts on that, please speak up now.
I agree with you.
This
In
is
person
Emil.
is better.
Yes.
This is I'm 100% getting back to normal.
I guess the better question would be, is there anyone opposed to having the meeting in person? All right. Well, it looks like, I guess, Commissioner Fields, I guess that it sounds like we would like to have the next one in person if that's at all possible. I don't know if the commissioners have to vote on that or if they need to discuss that. I guess if you'd like, you can send out an email and maybe get with the staff to either, talk about that amongst yourselves, I guess, would be the right way to do that. Is that okay with you?
Since I'm new at this, Bob, is this something that we can decide right now, or do we need to discuss it with staff and the other commissioners?
Yeah, we're all feeling our way in this new world. So while I think, I certainly support the committee wanting to meet in person, but we probably let's just talk among, if you don't mind, just see what kind of logistic issues, if any, there might be. And we have a commission meeting coming up on June 10th. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, it's definitely something we could bring up at the June meeting, but I don't know if we need to wait that long in order for you guys to make a decision. Because I imagine the commissioners will defer to Commissioner Fields because that's part of the reason for having a bingo commissioner. and this is really an administrative issue, but because we're talking about commission facilities and the hearing room's going to be configured a little differently because of all the health and safety protocols, I think out of caution, I'd prefer not to make a final decision right now, but let's talk a little bit with the administration staff and let them know that that's what we're thinking about doing, and then get back with you.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I know we do miss seeing everyone and hearing how everyone's doing, not only in a work aspect, but it is in a personal aspect as well. So yeah, if we could, that'd be great. If not, we understand. We definitely don't want to jeopardize anybody's health or make anyone feel too uncomfortable. So we appreciate y'all considering that for us very much. Thank you, Commissioner Fields and staff as well. We do appreciate that. Is there?
Trace,
Yes, sir.
I guess this is old business I'd like to bring up. Could someone there refresh the goings over on the gift certificates?
In what specific aspect are you talking about? Are you talking about just how do you do them, or?
No, you know, we were wanting to go with plastic, and one of the Indian tribes had some question or objected to that, and they were going to rewrite the rules, and I think it was going to go in front of the commission. Can someone tell me what happened with that?
Tyler, Tyler, I'm going to refer to you on that. I wasn't 100% versed on that. I don't want to speak out of line on that.
Sure. So at the last BAC meeting, you guys approved of the kind of the draft proposed language. And then we agreed that before we formally propose it as a rule, Government Affairs was going to reach out to the Kickapoos, lawyer, lobbyist, and kind of run it by them first before we propose it. So that way we don't formally propose it and then they don't like it again, and then we have to go back and revise it again. And I'm not sure of the status on that. I know with session going on, I mean, I'll let Nelda speak on this, but I think she was probably going to wait until session was over to reach out to the Kickapoos on that.
Okay, that answered my question. Thank you.
All right, yes, sir. If there's no other old business, I'm going to consider this new business now. Is there any new business that anybody would like to bring up or talk about?
Yeah, Trace, this is Tyler. We've noticed an issue recently. When you guys transfer money into your bingo account from an outside source, you're required to submit form number 14, which is a transfer of funds form. Now, at the top of that form, you'll see it says the form is required to be submitted within 14 days of the transfer. Now, that requirement comes from the statute. That isn't a rule. That's nothing that I can work with. It says we have to get it within 14 days of the transfer into the bingo funds. And, you know, it's recently come to my attention that organizations routinely send that form in later than 14 days, and that the agency hasn't really done anything about it in the past. We've just kind of filed them and took them as they came. But going forward, starting next quarter, when we're about to send an email blast out to everybody, letting them know this is going to be a violation. That, you know, the statute is very clear that the transfer, you have to notify us of the transfer within 14 days of the transfer. Otherwise, it's an illegal deposit into your bingo account. And so on the first time violation, we're just going to issue a warning. But after that, you know, it'll result in fines. And, you know, we're giving you guys some time because we realize that for whatever reason, nobody's ever noticed this in the past, and it hasn't been an issue. But the law's very clear, and the form is very clear that if you're going to transfer money into your bingo account, you have to let us know within 14 days. And so, like I said, we'll be sending out an email to everybody just to reiterate that, and it'll kick in next quarter.
Excellent. Well, we definitely appreciate your guidance on that and your understanding as well. I'm assuming this is in result of the PPP loans or
Yeah, that's some of it. And we've also had organizations that have been borrowing money to pay for prizes and expenses, and and then other situations. But it goes back apparently years that, for whatever reason, a new organization a new licensee that needs money, that they deposit money from their organization account just to get it up and running. That's a very common one. But for whatever the reason, we just need to know about it within 14 days.
Gotcha. Well, we certainly appreciate that, and we'll do our due diligence getting the word out as well on that. Try to help you out a little bit.
Thanks, sir.
Sir, have you got anything else on your list, sir?
I do not. No.
All right, wonderful. Does anybody on the Bingo Advisory Committee have any else new business? No. Anybody from the call-in people can't speak, can they? The general public can't speak. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, I think that's right. If they can't raise their hand, if they're not on the application, they can't raise their hand to notify us that they would like to speak.
All right. Well, for those that can hear us and do have an issue and would like to get it on the next BAC agenda, please feel free to send an email, and we'll be glad to get that on there for you. We don't want you to feel left out, or we don't want you to feel like you don't have a voice, because you do. Things are pretty quiet right now on the bingo front with the session going on. So, which is sometimes a good thing, and sometimes a bad thing. Was there anyone from the bingo staff that wanted to address anything? Maybe Nelda or anyone else that wanted to address anything on the Bingo Advisory Committee before we set the date for the next meeting?
Yes, I would. Just for for my curiosity, has everyone had their vaccinations?
Will, I don't know if that's, I don't think we can ask that question. That might violate HIPAA laws since we're in a open meetings deal. I don't know that we can actually ask that, Will. I'm not a HIPAA law guy, but we do deal with that quite a bit. I don't know if we can ask that or not. That might be something we need to talk to legal about.
Okay, I just thought maybe it'd be pertinent if we were talking about doing person-to-person or in-person meetings.
Gotcha. Tyler, would you like to?
Yeah, sure. He's free to ask that, and people are free to answer it, but nobody's obligated to answer it, and nobody's obligated to be vaccinated or to prove that they're vaccinated or anything like that. It's, I guess you're free to talk about it personally, but nobody's going to make you do it.
Gotcha. I just didn't want us to get into any trouble or do anything we're not supposed to. All right. Any other comments? All right. Let's set the date for the next meeting. Yes, open your calendars. And the next commission meeting's June the 10th. I suspect when does the session ends on the 31st? Is that correct? May 31st?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. Would y'all want to have a meeting before or right after the June 10th commission meeting? Tyler, your input from you and the staff is greatly appreciated at this point as well.
Yeah, sure. Let me just checking my availability in June. So one thing to consider, so on the 10th of the commission meeting that's the planned date to hire the new permanent director. And we don't know when they're going to start. They could theoretically start on June 11th if they wanted to, but I think it's pretty safe to assume that they would want to start maybe at the beginning of July 1st. So I don't know if you guys want to consider waiting until that person is in place. Although with the caveat that we really don't know for sure when they'll be in place. We can only, I can only assume that July 1st is probably when it's going to be, but that's no guarantee. From my perspective and my scheduling, Wednesdays look good.
Why don't we, if it's all right with you, why don't we do it maybe the last week of June on maybe the 23rd on June, that a Wednesday?
That works for me.
Okay. Does anybody have any issues with June 23rd at 10 a.m.? That'll give a couple of weeks after the commission meeting to kind of see where things are going to fall and maybe give whoever the new person is an opportunity to join in the meeting if they'd like to.
Will this be on by phone again, long distance, or are you trying to do that in person, Trace?
Well, that's what we're talking about, trying to have it in person. That way, we're going to let the staff talk amongst themselves and kind of see what logistically they would have to do to let it be in person, and let the commissioners talk about it as well. And then once they kind of decide and get together and meet, then they'll let us know whether it's going to be on the phone or in person. So their next meeting is on June the 10th. So that'll give us a good week and a half, almost. It'll give us 13 days to either meet in person or on the phone. Did I answer that right for you, Melody?
Yeah, it sounds good. I'm sorry. Yes, that's great. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So does anybody have an issue with June 23rd at 10 a.m.? If not, forever hold your peace. All right. Well, Tyler, unless you or the staff have anything else, I think we'll conclude the meeting, and we have now set the record for the shortest BAC meeting ever.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll see y'all at June 23rd, 10 a.m., either virtually or in person.
Have a good one.
Everybody have a good day. Thank you.
You too.